that tells about Jain Palli, the Tirupalli Malai, and the Tirthankara as Tirupalli Malai Alvar. In the Alurti Malai, tall barren hill, there is a cleft in the middle and the two Tirthankara sculptures are seen. In Amma Chatram and Kannangaragudi, there are two exquisitely carved sculptures. In the Kannangaragudi sculpture, the chamaras are unique in that the hairs are shown separately. Jaina ascetics select secluded rocky terrain as their abodes from where they can have a panoramic view. One such place is at Mailapatti. The hillock is called Karupparmalai. This Jain site was noted for the structural temple, but only the ruins remain now. Basement of the temple with inscriptions and a broken Jaina image. Sembattur Jain site is noted for its lion pillars. This village had temples for Jina, Shiva and Vishnu. But today, Shiva temple alone is seen. All the three were close to one another. The Jain temple, datable to 10th century AD, wore a deserted look with two idols of Tirthankara and Dharmadevi and a few lion pillars. It is believed that the pillars and other parts of this temple were used in the nearby village for Shiva temple. The fate of the Jain temple is also shared by the Vishnu temple. Only the idols of Vishnu with consorts Bhudevi and Sridevi are seen in the nearby garden. The Mottai Pillayar Koil refers to roofless, dilapidated Jain temple at Puttamur. Today the temple site has only two sculptures, one of them half-finished with decorative paneling. Veerakudi and Mosakkudi each boast of their hoary past with sculptures of Jaina Tirthankar and Yakshi. At Veerakudi, there is a lonely idol in a place called locally Samanar Medu. It is a tradition in Tamil country to refer to the Jain sites as Panchavar Padukkai, beds of Panchapandavas, Samanar Medu and Samanar Kundu and Samanar Tidal. These Medus and Tidals, if excavated carefully, may yield more antiques. At Mosakkudi, there should have existed a magnificent temple. It is surmised, based on the Jaina sculptures collected from this place, a few in the Pudukkottai Museum and 3 of them in the village. 2 of them are standing Tirthankaras in Kayotsarga posture and the 3rd one is Dharmadevi idol. The Ottai Kovil, meaning the dilapidated temple at Chettipatti, speaks a lot about the atrocities unleashed on the Jain temples in Pudukkottai area. The Jain site with ruined temple is referred to as Samanar Kundu. On the base of the temple there is an inscription of the 10th century characters. It mentions the name of Dayapalan and Vadirajar, the disciples of Madhisagara Acharya. The ruins indicate that the temple should have been a large one with exquisite architecture. In the Pudukkottai Museum, a few sculptures from the various Jaina sites and bronzes recovered from the Raja's College site were preserved. The extreme south of the peninsula comes under erstwhile Tirunelveli district. This southernmost area is rich in Jaina monuments. The monuments are in the form of caves, inscriptions and structural temples converted into Hindu places of worship. Bhagavati temple at Chitral, known in ancient records as Tirucharanatmalai, Hill of Charanars, Jain Munis. In the face of the rock called Tungupari, the hanging rocks, there is an exquisite panel of Jaina sculptures. The cave temple with carved pillars with remnants of stucco lion thrones for Tirthankaras are seen. This Jain center was a congregation center for Jaina ascetics during the 9th century AD. The lithic records in the reign of the Pandya king Varaguna speak about the Jaina acharyas from far-off places like Tirunarankondai near Ulundurpet in Viduppuram district who caused to carve the Jaina images. The significant and important feature unknown in any other centers is the participation of a large number of Jaina nuns, Kurattiyars, in the theological and sociological activities. Some of the interesting sculptures present the Kamada episode in Bhagavan Parshvanatha's 23rd Tirthankara's life and Yakshi Dharmadevi. Another important Jain center is the Nagarkoil and the Nagaraja temple. The inscriptions in this temple indicate that it was originally a Jain temple, a palli managed by Gunavira Pandita and Kamalavagana Pandita. At Melparai there is a hillock where a panel of 8 Tirthankara sculptures is seen. It seems to be an attempt to carve a panel as in Kalugumalai. Yerwadi, while recently, came notorious due to the tragic death of chained persons in a mental asylum. It was an active Jain center during the 8th century AD. The Pandya inscription here tells about the arrangements made for protecting 2 Jaina pallis by the Papa Chandrar of Kilcheri. The rock called Irattai Pottai has sculptures of Tirthankaras and inscriptions below them. The cave is used by the people for a local deity without an idol. One of the inscriptions mentions the name of the champion of Jaina Renaissance in the 8th century AD, Acharya Ajanandi. Acharya Ajanandi is referred to in most of the lithic records of the southern Tamil country. In Singikulam, the Bhagavati temple preserves the inscriptions that tell about the Jaina association. The Jaina Palli at this center was called Nyaya Paripala Perumpalli, which thrived during the 12th century AD. The image of this Palli is called Yanakku Nalla Nayakar, my Supreme Lord. Other nearby ancient Jain centers with Jaina vestiges are Kuttalam, Paradesi Podavu, Shankaranmalai, Marukal Thalai with Tamil Brahmi inscription. The Poolankurchi, where the inscription tells about the Jaina structural temples as Devakulam and Tapatapalli. It is an important record of the earliest of any structural temple in Tamil Nadu. Another important ancient and extant Jain center is Kalugumalai. It was an active center during the 7th to the 9th centuries AD. Jaina monks and nuns from different corners and far-off places in Tamil Nadu caused to carve a magnificent panel of Jaina sculptures of Tirthankaras, Yaksha Yakshi, and episodes from the life story of the Tirthankaras. As the bird flies, Kalugumalai, meaning the Vulture Hills, is about 120 kilometers from Madurai. Well, since we do not actually fly but climb the hill, it is quite a steep climb. The face of the cave was transferred into an array of more than 150 images of the Jain Tirthankaras and attendant deities. The sculptures are in 3 tiers, carved out of a wide space above the main cave. There are large images of Tirthankaras in the Kayotsarga posture, as well as the Padmasana posture in the lower tier. The most renowned of these sculptures are those of Lord Parshvanatha and Padmavati, who is the Yakshi of Parshvanatha. All the 72 Tirthankaras of the past